Now, who else hasn't been putting in their intention for the week?
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
What was that, Annie? Oh, there's an ad on here.
there's a.
Is that Annie or Anne? Or it's like,
Thought I did.
okay. I love how Anna just responded. It's like, oh, I haven't done it, or I've done it. Okay. Then we might start off from there. From this morning, I have an idea, and not an idea, but often I hear something like, we love to be in a container. All right. But oh shit, I haven't done anything yet. Okay. So we have to watch our thought and our heart. How many of you remember that I've been talking about our thought? Our thinking is electric. Our heart, our feelings are magnetic. Joe Dispenza loves saying that, but this is actually been proven in a scientific world that.
Actually thought I did it twice last week.
Okay. So what I would love to invite you guys to think about is, yes, it's Monday morning, but what will be your first thought when you woke up to think about coming to this container?
Looking forward.
Looking forward. Alicia, that's great. Your thought is looking forward. Now, not having a go at you, but did you sound like that? I so look forward to the call, or looking forward. Don't laugh, don't laugh. I'm going to probably have a go at each of you guys who just laughed. Be honest, be true to ourselves.
Yeah. Well, no, I always look forward to it. I over socialized this last week, so I'm
Recovering.
We cover it.
recovering. Yeah.
That's the
Covering
honesty.
socializer.
That's honesty. That's honesty. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the reason do you think even Dr. Joe would say about our thought and feelings are important? What do you think the practical and the theory behind it?
I guess that's so within, so without. So however we're feeling, whatever we're projecting is going to project out. And
Yeah.
then we'll attract.
Well, besides the step before we say projection, what is within?
Self-belief.
Yes, keep going. Deeper
Love.
Love, yeah.
Energy.
Energy. Okay. Now, Catherine will try the big word. Coherence. The mind and the heart.
Heart.
Our
Coherence.
mind and our heart are coherent. Who said can't hear me? Okay. Coherence. Okay. So how often we know that our heart and our minds are actually aligned? Your thought and your feelings are aligned. You
About
think-
3 times a day for about 7 minutes each time.
Mhm.
Very specific.
That's very good. But what are the possibility that we are coherence or align our heart and our mind most of the time?
That would
Well,
be
when
great.
I bike, yeah, sorry.
Go on, Elisa.
I was just saying that would be great.
That's the thought. It would be great.
Yeah.
How possible is it? Who's here think is possible?
Very possible.
It is very possible.
Mm,
I am when I'm riding my bike often.
yeah. Okay. Good. Instead of relying externally to get yourself to be aligned, what else do you think you could do?
It's the internals. You have to align everything inside of you before the outside starts to work. So it's a complete package.
Yeah, good.
That's great.
Oh, Anna is dripping off like I thought she's with her sleeping gown. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, I am. It's underneath, but
Don't
I think
show
I-
off on camera. Okay. All right. The thought just dropped to me. So let's brainstorm on this because it just dropped onto me that it's like, even for myself, how coherent are we from the moment we woke up?
But yeah, from the moment I wake up, I am. It diminishes over the day.
Yeah.
And
Thanks,
then
Denise.
comes back. Yeah.
All right. Let's hear from others. Linda, are these very new concept to you?
Yeah, well, I've known, well, we've been talking about it for a little while, but I haven't been very that conscious of it.
Mm,
But yeah, I have to start being more conscious of it,
Okay.
I think.
Let's start with Linda because Linda sounds like, this is new or maybe the vocabulary is very new. Okay. But think about when you pray, do you believe in God?
Yes,
Okay. So when you pray, do you feel that you are in one?
yes.
Okay.
Very close.
Very close. All right. Then as Denise said, she has 3 times a day, 7 minutes each time. So each time as you pray, how long is not like you can last for it. It's like, how long does it stay with you within?
There's the whole time that I'm praying.
Yeah. And as you know, Linda is our prayer warrior. So how often do you pray?
Throughout the day, on and off. Little situations and that. And I sit down purposely and pray for you guys.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's a way that Linda been using to help herself to internalize as she sit down and quiet herself. Okay. Often people say, oh, Christian is always talk about prayer. Okay. But prayer is actually a way of transing ourselves or a form of meditation. So let's move on to other sister who used to be the vocabulary of meditation or getting into a trance. So who's here like besides morning and evening to meditate, who's often just will be able to say, hey, it's been so busy. People still like to use the word busy. I was like, okay, let's sit down, take a deep breath and quiet ourselves and gather ourselves together to allow yourself to listen to those small, still voice and allow yourself to feel it.
Yep.
Tamara?
I get
would you like to-
overcome by I think I get overcome by fear. Like my mind is blocking it.
Mm. Yeah, that's the logical mind, what you're talking about. Even though something is so still and small come to you with peace, then our logical mind just like, nah, don't be stupid. Not that you call yourself stupid. It's like, don't be silly, that's not logical. Okay, Tamara, you're going to share. Let's see what Tamara could share with us, Alicia.
I think at the moment I'm feeling a lot more coherence with myself because I'm now starting to live life my way
Mhm.
and do life my way. I'm not listening to other people. I'm not being influenced by anyone else. I'm just living true to myself, which means for me, just aligning my inner self with my outer world.
Mm,
And it's all coming together. It's
mm.
all working towards that one space I want to be.
Good. So how long have you been knowing that there's a need to be aligning yourself?
That's probably something I've struggled with over the last probably 18 months, 2 years. I've been struggling with that thought that things haven't been quite right, probably even longer actually.
Okay. All right. Now, that's very courageous. Thanks, Tamara. But would you like to share your experience? I'm sure not just Alicia just saying our mind just block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, it's knowing that I needed to be doing something with my life to help other people, and how could I do that? And it was working out who was stopping me, how I was being stopped, what was stopping me. Some of that was me inside going, oh, you can't do this, you're never going to do it, you're going to fail at it. And then I had people sort of on the outside of me saying, oh, this is just another silly little thing that you're going to do, this is just, another little flight of fancy, and going, no, I know I need to be doing something. My purpose is on this planet is to actually do something to help other people. I know that. How do I do that? How do I get to that space?
Mm,
And now it's all starting to come together for me,
mm.
and I'm moving in the right direction. So it's becoming that, congruent state where I'm, what's inside of me is now coming together with what I'm doing on the outside.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So now you are more feeling in terms of coherence or more aligning with yourself, right? So
Yep.
you no longer allow the external forces or people telling you what you ought not to do.
Hmm.
Now,
Yep.
the challenge is, this is possibly a challenging question for you, but then within yourself, any struggle or conflict at the moment?
At the moment, yes, there are some.
Mm,
Yep. So some of those are around financial security.
mm,
Now, I know logically that financial security will get there, and it's not as bad as I think it is, but my fear and my core beliefs around finances of what I grew up with as a child are sitting there very much in the forefront going, this is what's going to happen. This is what, everything's going to be taken from you. Everything, you're going to lose everything. You're going to be struggling. You're going to be eating 2-minute noodles because you can't afford anything else. That's where my mind is going. But logically, I know that's not the case.
yeah. Okay. Well, if you can afford, 2 million noodles, you're very rich. Because baked beans is cheaper.
Mm,
They
Better
make me
for
too
you.
sick.
Yeah, I know. But we have spoke about that, isn't it, in our individual call?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So the trick is like the retreat. I just and then again, and as I said, Anna has been a fly on my wall as I'm preparing. He's like, I think I need to unblock my chakra. It's like, I think it's like, something I thought, you're talking about fears. It's like, fears.
You're
doesn't-
talking about the root. Yeah,
the root.
absolutely.
I said,
Yeah.
fears doesn't sit in our root chakra only. There's a lot of different type of fears that we are going to go dig deep in. Yeah, because Tamara is now, her mind is aware of what she has witnessed, her mother has gone through. Okay, so it's so much, not just only in our mind, but deeply seated in unconscious or subconscious of that fears. Okay, so what is it going to be the next step for her to align her heart and her mind, as well as her gut as well, in aligning that to really welcoming the abundance? Yes, Anna? Thanks for-
Trusting herself.
Yes.
Your mum did not have friends like you do. Your mum didn't have somebody to guide her.
Mm,
Your mum, and that's unfortunate, and I'm really sad for her. But you have really strong connections with really beautiful people, and that puts you way ahead of where your mum was. And I think that's, forgive her for what's happened and let it go, and then accept what is coming and receive. Okay,
mm.
that's you're not doing it by yourself, honey.
So what Anna is pointing, that you have already actually a step ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
That's stepping into this container. In a way, did you know that? Or it's like, oh, I'm going to divorce Gary. I better find a group of friends that support me.
I already had those.
Yeah. That's so
No,
funny.
I just knew that it was the place to be.
Yeah, good. All right. So for us to be a bit more woo, then it's like, Tamara, tell us more. What is that you just know? And Catherine is so woo, so said, don't ask me why. I just know, just do it. And for those who step in, it's like, oh yeah, it's Anna again. Dad, why Catherine asked me to do that? I thought like, yeah, don't ask me why, but when it dropped, like, we better follow.
But one of the reasons why I said it is because many of us are sitting here and talking about money all the time. It happens, you know, it's like over conversations, we're all talking about it. So there's a block. And I'm sitting there going, I made all this money, da, 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 da. The root chakra. I'm reading this shit up, and I pick up the phone and ring her and go, you know, I think I need this chakra unblocked. How do you feel about the root? And she said, Anna, were you a fly on my wall? I'll go, no. But the connection, girls, we're talking about the connection. This is really important, you know. The unblocking the chakra opens us out into the ether, awakens the DNA. Yeah, it's just a
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's stay with Tamara a little bit more. I know it might take a bit more time, but this is important. It's not just for her, but for all of us. The knowing. The knowing, is it in your mind or in your gut or in your heart, Tamara?
It's kind of in my mind, in my heart, and it's just a feeling that comes over me. And a bit like you, Catherine, I just know.
Good.
Can't ask. People I say, oh, so how do you know? I just know.
Yeah.
I always just know.
Okay.
It's that, and it's trusting that intuition. It's trusting that side of you, because we all have it. We just haven't developed it.
Okay. Now I'll be the devil advocate.
Mhm.
So when you know and didn't follow through,
Mhm.
what happened?
I ended up in a very unhappy space because I ignored my intuition. I ignored myself. I ignored what was in my heart and what was in my soul.
Okay. So what's the reason you didn't listen or ignore the knowing?
Because I was always sort of told that, oh, don't be silly. You're just making stuff up. Don't be silly. You know, don't listen to that. You know, I know better. Listen to me. I'm older. I'm wiser. I know.
Yeah.
You know, all those things.
Okay. All right. One last concept for today, because this is going to be very important. Because the reason we don't listen to our knowing is because it is an unknown to us. When you try to listen to our intuition, means it's most likely go against the logic or what the flow with the well-being. So when we are asked by divine or upstairs to step into the unknown, our 3D body gets scared. Because by memory, yeah, we were one of that silly girl being laughed at, being told it's only your imagination. But now we know better, then who is excited to step into the unknown?
me.
Me.
Okay, fantastic. All right, now let's circle back to Alicia. It's a long roundabout or different road to lead to the answer for you. But like, I love to have Tamara to share, because like she knows it for many years, but now she actually is taking the action as well. And Alicia, for you, it's not that you're starting. You also have already known for many years, but there's something that we haven't taken action. So where are you at after listening to Tamara sharing, and I introduce the concept to you that when we step into the unknown, more will come. So what's your experience, or share with us? Just speak with what's come to your mind.
Okay. Well, I just, as Tamara was talking, I just was thinking that would be so nice to have that feeling. Sorry, I'm kind of gloomy today too.
Okay.
Oh,
Let's go for it, darling. What is it?
No, I don't know. I'm just emotional today for no reason.
Okay. How about let's tap into that knowing, because it's not just like, oh, I just want to be a little princess. I want to be a crybaby today. Because we need to learn to allow ourselves. When I feel down, we need to understand that, is it externally some other energy come like, bleh, or within ourselves, something that our body, our mind is going to asking us, hey, I want you to pay attention to something.
Yeah, I just it's just a big frustration for me because I hear, so many women in the group, they want to do great things for other people. And I feel really bad because I don't have that feeling. But I think it's just because I've, felt like I've been in survival mode for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think, the more secure and stable I learn to feel, then I can hear that voice or that knowing that I'm not connected to right now.
Mm. Mm. I'm curious when you say you're not connected, because the journey, you don't mind that I share with the ladies about your journey? You know how like you actually joined us last year.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. But you kind of like, I don't know whether this is really helping me, or I don't know how what I should be doing. So, but what's the reason you decided to come back? You actually came back to us this year. What is the something eating inside you? Let's use those words. Something is eating inside you that you're not.
Like I felt like I needed the collective courage.
Okay.
Didn't have enough
yeah,
on my own.
Good. All right. Could anyone here help Alicia that she actually knows and she actually taken action? Who's agree here that Alicia knows that she need to be here, need that collective courageous, right?
It's a knowing, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's not that you don't know, but it's not as loud as some of us.
Yeah, true.
It is, but you just don't listen.
Yeah.
It
Take
is.
many
You
years
know
to
it.
practice. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. It takes a long time to get there. This is work I've been doing for years and years and years on myself. So don't expect it to happen overnight.
Mm,
It'll happen.
mm,
But you've got all of us around you to help you with that. And once you've learned how to take care of you, as someone said, you've got to learn to take care of you before you can take care of others. Because you can't pour from an empty cup. And that's what we're here. We're here for support.
You got this, Alyssa. We know that. We all know it. You got it.
mm.
Yeah.
Can I go back since we brought this up? Alyssa, do you remember our first meeting when we spoke to you? And we spoke about love, and you said you didn't know what love was. Remember? And then we went through what you do and who you do it for. All right. So you, at that point, you seriously thought you didn't know it was love. And then at the end, you were like, well, yeah, I do, because I do feel. I have the compassion. It's little things that bring it out in you. But it is the chaos that runs in your head that you can't do is the one that we would like. You can change, honey. You can turn around and tell it to shut up and start listening to the voice of love and reason for yourself, not the doubt, not the mummy. Remember the American Anna? I just you're hearing my voice, but it's always there, honey. It's always there. You're doing stuff for you. The minute you start changing the way you do things for yourself with love and care, then you're able to provide that to others. You can't do that until you do it for you. Like Tamara said, find you, believe in you, and then it's much easier to share. But you do care because you always ask me. You always say, you're always asking how I'm going and what have you. And that's caring, honey. Right? It's caring. And you do. I feel the love. We all feel the love.
It's just we all do it and support each other in many different ways.
Absolutely.
And we each have a different path and journey to take.
Yeah.
And it's going to be different for each person.
Absolutely.
Exactly. it's the little thing that counts. Remember, I said, Alicia, I'm struggling to get something sent to Christine. Could you help? So you didn't just did a service for Christine, but her mom got the benefit of like, I'm so jealous. She got the baklava.
And what about Elon? You know, the
Mm.
acknowledgement from him with the stuff that you've been doing with Love, creating his website. Up until that point, until he actually said, "Oh, that's beautiful. That's fantastic." He was gorgeous. He was hugging her and touching her while I was talking. I must change it to a blank screen. But you know,
Get a room,
she
get a
was so
room.
worried about, you know, I'd asked, did you show him? So the insecurity of self-belief, again, until you actually turn around and ask the question, you will never know. And, you know, when we were doing the website, it was, we've got to do this for Alyssa. She's given us all the colours. She told us what she wants. We're doing it for you. So when we did it right for you, it was right for Elon.
Mhm.
Do you see what I'm saying? It comes out in little ways.
And remember those ripple effect, because Christine had tried your product, but it's seriously, I don't think it's product. There's love in there, isn't it, Christine? When you ate something like that, it's not just a piece of cake baked out of a commercial oven, but I feel the love.
Mhm.
Does Christine want to try to say something? Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, good. Anything else, Alicia? Like, you know, after hearing or sharing, what is inside you now? What's the feeling? It's okay. You don't have to say, I feel good, but it's like, still please, shitty. No, only joking. So how do you feel right now?
Well, I feel supported.
Okay, it's great. As you described, it's the collective courage. If we don't have it, we know we can borrow it from all of us with a good intention that we're here to support you. And I know that you said that, oh, I'm the baby here. I'm so far behind from all of you. Who's here got jealous that she started so young and she gets so much time in her lifetime?
She's way ahead of us because she started so much younger.
I know.
Absolutely.
I know. Isn't that beautiful? So it might be, is I just got goosebumps that the grass is always greener on the other side. But is it really? That's where we have to come and think about, for our mind, our heart, and our gut. Are we truly aligned and be thankful here and now, where we got ourselves to here, to today? It might be a survival mode, but actually the celebration is we are all still alive. And in a way, we are all here, have the second chance. And how many of you are here knowing that some of your high school friends are no longer have that chance or opportunity to do it again? The story being, I went to a private school. I thought in Australia, I thought most of, well, it wasn't cheap in those days in the 90s. I think it was about close to 10 grand a year. I didn't know how my parents did it, but they did it. Okay. But the 30th of, I went back probably last year for my 30th of high school reunion. It's only 30 years out of high school. It wasn't that long, seriously, for 30 years out of high school. As a teenager, most of them was probably 16, 17 or 18. So you add 30 odd years on, it was over 100 of us. It was a big school, 1,300 kids. But what's so sad is you reconnect with your friends, but as you start mentioning names, so-and-so is no longer here. So-and-so left 2 kids behind. They're still school age. So-and-so did this and no longer around. It's not so-and-so went to jail. I mean, I went to a prestigious high school, but they taught on. But over 100 kids, from just what I know or counting, we have 10 friends already departed on this earth. Okay. Now, so I'm going to ask you guys for this coming. So for what we know, or for what we know that we are stepping into the unknown, who's here is going to commit yourself?
I'm going to dive.
You're gonna commit yourself to die, or like you're gonna
Diving.
Diving off the
die, sorry.
Jumping
die.
off the
Nah,
diving
nah,
board.
nah.
You're gonna dive into it, isn't it? The unknown. Who is excited for the unknown?
No, me.
So exciting, isn't it? And how about Christine? Diving into from 10K investment to 100K and now, ooh, come on, tell us your excitement. And tell us actually it's like, it's exciting, but like,
It's super scary. It's like that nervous excitement and I'm putting this thing out there, and I was just reading posts from other people in the real estate group about how they do some of their numbers, and I'm just like, and I was talking with my coach about this very thing earlier this week. I'm like, is this still maybe not as good as we originally thought? And so I'm had every intention of putting it out this week, and I haven't yet, because now I'm thinking, oh, people are going to look at this and just say, this is not nearly good enough for me to put my money into. And so I don't know if I'm just second guessing myself or if it really is not a good deal. But now I'm thinking of just putting it into like the little US group that we have and say, guys, look at this. What do you think? Before I put it out to everybody. Because now I'm just like, oh, maybe I just really need to find a different one. Because unless the way I'm looking at it, I'm like, unless I offer this guy and he accepts significantly lower than what he's wanting, I don't know if it's really going to be worth it, a 5-year investment of their money. So yeah, now it's like, it's exciting. I'm getting into this whole new branch of commercial real estate, but now it's also super scary.
So ask the question.
yeah, ask the question. So when you say it might not be a good deal, it might not be a good deal for you, or it might not be a good deal for the investor?
For the investors.
But has any investor told you that it's not a good deal?
No, but after I went to the summit, they're talking about 20% returns, and I'm looking at mine. Okay, so mine is 20. I've got it worked out with numbers. Like it could be 25% return, but that's a total return at the end of the 5 years. And then they're putting out posts about annualized return. And I'm like, okay, well, at the 25% total for 5 years, annualized, that's a 5% return. With the way interest rates are going up, or any of these investors really even going to look at a 5% annualized return? Yeah, because really what they're getting the bulk of the return at the end of the 5 years when the property sells, and just getting a little bit of the rent money along the way. So it really, the return happens at the end. And my coach is trying to tell me, yeah, well, that's the way some of these investments work, is that you get it on the back end. And I'm like, okay. So it's making me nervous. It's making me scared that this isn't the deal I thought it was.
Okay. Well, we all here knows that the biggest the return, the biggest the risk.
Yeah. And I have tried to be conservative with all my numbers, because I'd rather be conservative and have things work out better and have people happy with the way that I do things than to overpromise and something happens and we either don't have the reserves, they get a smaller return, and they're like, well, I'm never doing business with her again.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask that question. Do you think that the others who are saying that, they're going to get a 20% return each year and blah, 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 do you think they're being honest, and do you think they're being ethical, and that that's really possible? Or are they, talking themselves up so that they can get those investors?
Well, some of them have been doing this for quite some time, and they have experience, and they've done this before. And some of them are like, in Canada, they've got this company called Greybrook, and this is kind of what they do. But you have to be an accredited investor, so you have to have a certain amount of income and all this stuff. And a lot of folks, and a lot of the US folks don't qualify for what they consider an accredited investor. And a lot of what they have up there, we're not even allowed to invest in, because Canada has said they are not allowing any foreign investors into their real estate. So we're kind of cut off from a lot of those opportunities.
Okay.
but they can invest on our side. But I'm like, okay, so my deal versus their deal, why are they going to invest in my project?
Okay. So there are known and unknown factors. But Christine, I want to ask you, as an individual developer, you are comparing yourself with what kind of company?
Oh, much larger than me.
And multinational.
They all started somewhere, Christine.
Yes.
They all started somewhere.
Yeah.
And they utilized other people's experiences. So ask the question to that quiet private group, right? So that you can abate your fears,
Okay.
right?
All right. Let's stay with one more question first. Anna, that's great advice. Christine, I want to ask, are you being fair to yourself,
As far as,
comparing yourself to that company?
oh, well, yeah, no, I understand they're a big company and their projects are much larger than mine. Mine's a little 12-unit building and their things are huge. I understand that it's a different animal. But if I'm an investor and I have 75, 150,000, whatever to invest, where would I put my money?
But are they
Right.
qualified to be an investor with that company?
Well, not that particular company, but there are other things in the US that they do the same thing.
Okay. All right. But that's the question. How many of them are the same thing in America, doing the same thing with Canada? So we are like, getting ourselves.
Yeah, I would say I'm gonna just put it out to our smaller US group and just say, guys, this is what I've got. Tell me what you think. Critique it. Is it something that you think you would be interested in? Is it understandable? And just try to get feedback from them. And I know we have passive investors in our US group. So, I mean, if they say, yes, this is something that I would look into, that'd be okay. Great. Maybe I'll stick with the US folks if I get enough of them. If they say, no, your returns are too low per year, then maybe I'll look for another property. Actually, I've got two that I'm trying to get figures. I've got figures on one of them. I got to get the other one. But so I've got backups if this one isn't as good as I thought. And to be honest, when I first started with this property, it was initially meant just to be a learning experience. How do I do this? And then it was like, oh, these numbers look good. This looks like a good property, and blah, blah, and we kept going. I'm like, oh, okay, so this could be the real thing. And now I'm thinking, well, maybe not, but still definitely a learning experience.
Exactly. So always remind ourselves, like, we are starting off as a learning experience. If the number looks good, because like your coach is in America, right? So he
Yes.
understands more about the numbers and the real estate market and things like that, because it sounds like it's slightly different to Australia, and every country have a different taxes. Just even talk about.
I did find out though that it is easier for you guys to invest in the US than it is the Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
They have a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yeah, but even for us, a lot of Australians don't want to invest in, like us, the small fish, so-called right now, is the taxation system with the US. Once you're linked up with it, you can't unhook yourself easily. That's where the determine with a lot of, investors, unless again, as you say, how cash up are the people. But right now it's not go there, but it's more about starting within. Is I love what your mentality is. If I don't know it, I just need to get someone to help me. And even though with your own mantra for so many years, like, I just have to do it myself. But right now, how much a bigger step that you have stepped out that you could share with us here? You are learning from a coach about investing, but knowing spiritually as a group, because you have been doing this for so many years.
Yeah,
So
well, I knew I was never going to get any better or any bigger doing what I was doing. I was stuck. I had to get outside help.
Yeah, exactly. So Alicia, again, listening to Christine, I hope some penny drops for you, because every level, there's a devil. I'm not saying don't look forward to it, but every level we get into, there's a new challenge. There's a new leaf that we turn. And there's something new for us to learn. But the most exciting thing is we're moving forward. We're knowing that we're walking towards the horizon. And thanks you for Denise that like encouraging, all of us on the comment on the chat, because it will be important for us to have our thought gather and share for one person at a time. So all the chat on the comment on all the comment on the chat are important for us to know as well. Anyone else want to share or have questions about
I'm
us?
just going to say, I'm reading this book and it's really good.
Yeah, Ken Honda. Money is energy.
Managing.
Do you have happy money in your wallet?
Yeah.
And with the magic that we use to practice is we write a Nietzsche notes. I give thanks to all the money has been given to me in my life. So when you count how much money that you have been receiving in your life, there are millions of dollars. Okay.
I keep a $10,000 bill in my wallet at all times to say I always have plenty of money.
10,000? What currency?
It's phony, it's plastic, it's phony
Oh.
money, but it it looks like an American $10,000 bill, and yeah, it's like I always have plenty of money.
You see, my logical mind is like, where you have 10,000 note in American?
Yeah,
This
no,
when
we
I have
don't.
$100 note, American dollars,
Yeah.
I'm actually happy. It's like, it's the biggest currency. Yeah,
And
go
then
on.
my mom one year got me, they're actually fire starters for the fireplace.
Yeah.
It's this little roll, and the outer roll looks like a dollar bill. And so, and I just placed them all over. I didn't use them for the fireplace. I just placed them all over my house and said, "Oh, I have money to burn."
Yeah. That's a good mantra to think about it. Mm.
Hmm.
All right. Now, so the alignment and coherence. Any question? I think we have some really great share today. We all could learn from one another. Everyone is very quiet. He's like, Catherine has given me more homework. At that stage, she's going to ask, where are we at? Okay. So the practice is send out the electrical signal to the world, but at the same time, using our heart to magnetically drawn those thoughts, intentions, and attracting to you guys. And in our gut, just knowing it is happening now. Is not, it is going to happen. As you thought about what a great idea, then feel it and allow it to sit with you. That's what often people talk about, the law of attraction. A lot of people talk about law of attraction, but how many of us actually practicing the law of attraction? There's so many gurus out there teach this, but how many of us implementing that? What's that word, Anna?
Managing. Money with energy, managing.
Money is energy. Just think about it. We often think about money is the dollar bill. I'll give this to you another idea. When you're dead, does money mean anything to you? Even you have
No.
millions in your bank.
No.
So think about the idea. We are so rich that we're actually free to breathe in the air, and airs are unlimited. And air is actual energy. Without air, could we function?
No.
Okay. Think about the water. I know some of us have to pay water bill. I don't know whether American have to pay water bill or Canadian have to pay water bill. Even the amount of money we need to pay for our water bill is still equivalent to be really next to nothing in a way. And that is freely flowing in your house. When you open your tap, it's freely floating into your house. So how rich are we actually? How many of us actually realize that on this planet, there are people still don't have running water into their house. How many of those ladies in different continents still have to go and get water from the stream or get water from the well or underground? So we are actually very wealthy. But do you feel that? Do you think that? Do you know that? Now let's feel or experience this coherence from your gut, knowing you are so well off, and have that feeling. How would you feel being wealthy? What will be your first thought when you get up? What will be your last thought when you go to sleep? Let's feel that energy from your tailbone up to your crown chakra for the moment. Either close your eyes as you feel comfortable. Evie, please don't close your eyes as you're driving. And just allow that to happen, to feel it, either as a form of prayer, meditation, and breathe it in. As I taught before, that you can lock it in, but this is really a form of anchoring. So over the weekend, I'm going to teach you guys more about the anchoring. But right now, make an action, a physical action that lock in to this gut, heart, and mind coherence, that you could remind yourself any moment during the day that I'm wealthy, that I have plenty to contribute at here and now. Beautiful. When you're ready, remember the anchoring. An action that to remind you, it could be very subtle to help us have this internal alignment. Beautiful. Who is feeling energetic or being energized?
Don't all jump at once.
I've been awake since 2 o'clock, so I'm not feeling any energy at all.
Okay. Look at the smile on your face. Does
Couldn't
that
be
mean
because
tell
you
her she didn't
slept
get
all
any
day
sleep last
yesterday.
night?
Pardon, Anna?
Couldn't be because you slept most of yesterday.
No, it was because the dog threw up in my bed.
Oh,
Beautiful.
So I've been washing sheets and blankets and stuff
Ugh.
since 2 o'clock, 2:30.
Can't be anything I fed him.
Probably was.
Baby. Okay. All right. Good. Anyone want to share or would like to share? Yeah. Is I know the topic meant to be on rain and contributions, but it just for some reason become very heavy that us, I thought we are very good at giving, but how many of us actually being energized after we gave, or we become like, we are very good at giving, but is it really meant to be the way we contribute? Or we're actually aligning ourselves, knowing this is the way I could contribute to my family, my world, or even to this container.
difference between giving willingly and giving reluctantly too.
Exactly. So when we talk about contribution, it could be physically tired if we're going to go and dig a hole for the society to plant a tree, but spiritually, do you get energized after that? Or the difference is you're drained in your spirit after the giving.
I got energized and I didn't even close my eyes. So thank you for that.
Great,
Just
thank you,
listening.
Evie. Okay.
And can I just jump in here and say a big thank you, Linda? Thank you so much for your prayers for my brother. I'm not sure if Linda's still with us.
You're welcome.
I can't see yet. And
How is he?
I saw him yesterday. He's getting weaker. He's lost a lot of weight. He's now having palliative care coming to the home.
Mm.
So it started, but he is amazing. He's so in gratitude for everything, for love, for life, for what he's had, and you know, he's at peace with himself, with his acceptance that you know he's going. Yeah.
That's good.
Mhm.
That's good.
So yeah, and it was really good to see him and spend time with the family yesterday. So that gave me a bit of a reset as well about what's important. And yeah,
Good.
That's good.
How are you holding up, Evie?
I look, I had a you know, I won't lie, it was an emotional time for me. It was you know, like the selfish side of me doesn't want to lose my brother. I've just got him back.
Yeah. I think we need to respect the decision.
Absolutely, I totally 100% respect
Yeah.
him.
But doesn't mean
Respect
that
his
it's easy
choice.
on you.
No, but that, you know, but I also understand. I understand the why. So it's yeah,
Mm.
I get that he doesn't want to go through all that. He's been through rounds of chemo. He doesn't want to do it. It's not going to fix him. If they could guarantee that they were going to fix him, then he would fight 100%. But
Mm.
yeah, so it's all good. But yeah, all we can do is give him as much love and support as we can while he's on
Yeah.
his passing. So I appreciate the prayers, Linda. And
You're
for
welcome.
support.
Beautiful. That's what
Yeah.
we hear for each other, hey?
Yeah.
Mm. Good. All right. I better let some of you guys go. It's 7 o'clock in Melbourne, but it's not but. It's like reflect on what we discussed tonight, whether we share, whether we learn, whether you have something on in your mind, is how aligning each moment in our daily life. All right. So I'll see you all next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
For
everybody.
those,
Bye.
for those who reserve for the weekend, please do so, because we are putting something together for those who are attending. So we'll be sending things out to you guys. So accept the RSVP, and then we know who's coming. Mhm. Anna, you're going to say something?
Have a great week, everybody.
You
Yeah.
too.
Too.
Connect with one another. Be confident and be you.
Yeah, you too, darling.
Take
Thanks.
care.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Love to all. Bye.